What we have here is a presentation on significant figures prepared by Avery Austin. There are basically six total rules. However, only one of those have some uncertainty. The others are pretty standard and can be applied regularly without any problems. And I'll cover each of those in the following slides. Non-zero digits are significant. This is pretty easy and straightforward. If you have non-zero digits, they're all significant. So in this case you'd have 5. In this case you'd have 4. 5,674 before significant digits. That's pretty straightforward. Another straightforward significant figure rule is when the zeros between two non-zero digits, they're significant. So here you have zeros, and between two, here 6 is a non-zero, 8 is a non-zero. So you have a total of 5 digits here, 5 significant figures. Between 8 and 2 you have 2 zeros, 800. That's pretty straightforward as well. Okay, this is where it gets to a little more thinking involved. Zeros after the decimal and before the first non-zero digit are not significant. So if you have a very small number, in essence, where you have a non-zero digit after the decimal and just zeros before, you only focus on the non-zero digit, and that'll tell you how many significant figures you have. So in this case, again, you have 0.00945. You ignore the zeros before, and you only have 3 significant figures here, 9, 4, and 5. So the zeros after the decimal and before the first non-zero digit are not significant. So again, we have a decimal situation again, and we're looking at the zeros now after the decimal point and after the first non-zero digit, and they are significant. So if you have 3.200, that's 4 significant digits. You're after the first non-zero, after the decimal, and likewise here 1.90000, you have 6 significant figures here. And lastly, for zeros after zeros required before the decimal point are significant if the decimal point is shown. So if I had 100.0, this would have 3 significant figures. So the zeros before the decimal that are required to show the number, what the value of the number is, are significant. So if you have 1100,000, these 4 zeros then become significant with the decimal. The last rule is a little fuzzy, and it says zeros after the last non-zero digit when there is no decimal point may or may not be significant. So if you have 500 inches, this could be 1 significant figure, 2, or 3. If you had 45,000 seconds, it could be 2, 3, 4, or 5 significant figures. And those rules apply even to scientific notation. Just remember, in scientific notation, you need to rewrite the number with 1 digit before the decimal, a non-zero digit before the decimal, and hence you start applying the same rules of significant figures there as well. Okay, enjoy.